We are going to now talk about our review for the week. We have a book that Image sent us to check out. It's called Our Bones Dust. That'll make
Dude.
sense if you read the book. Let's talk about the creative team here before we get into our opinions. This is with story and art by Ben Stenbeck, who I hadn't heard prior to this book. With colors by Dave Stewart, letters and logo design by Rose Wooden. Um, so Rose Wooden, very prolific letterer. But let me start with Clay. What did you think about our? Oh, hold on. Sorry, let me read the synopsis real quick. In this book, a feral child, equal parts predator and prey, navigates a nightmare landscape of brutality and blood, inhabited by scattered cannibal tribes. An interesting place to poke around for a curious artificial intelligence, a four-issue miniseries by longtime Mike Mignola collaborator Ben Stenbeck, who's done stuff like Baltimore, Frankenstein Underground, and Koshchei. I don't know the last one. I don't know that I said the last one correct, but I did check out the first issue of Frankenstein Underground. Interesting. I think you read that one too, right, Josh? Frankenstein Underground.
I did, and
Yeah.
I liked it.
Okay. We'll come back. We'll come back to you. Clay, what did you think about this book?
I loved it. It reminded me of like a heavy metal story. So like you're reading heavy metal and you start with this. It has incredible art of these aliens dissecting our planet, and they're able to do it in such a way to like pull parts of the ground out and pull things apart. And so as they're kind of inspecting our planet, they come across the survivors, if you want to even call them that, because we're at like the end of the world part. These people are only have water, and their only way of consuming protein is cannibalism. So we're at that darkest point of humanity's death, which, most people will go, oh, we'll have an apocalyptic event and then it's just downhill from there. No, you can break that down into even more segments, from society's breakdown to just complete collapse. And I've only seen that in a very few stories where we're at this point where we're just about to die off completely. And one of those is in the movie A Boy and His Dog, where you see the last remnants of what's left. And I kind of love this because everyone's just fighting for survival. And so they're willing to trade their arm or leg as meat for water, and to do jobs like go track this kid down who had stolen water from them. And the art's incredible. Like, I love the design of the alien. I love the concepts where you can kind of see what the alien's doing, but then you get into what has happened to humanity, and that's just the darkest place of all. And I kind of dig that.
Yeah. Jack, what did you think of the book?
I did really enjoy it. As far as like first issues goes, this was definitely one of the stronger ones. And normally when a new series comes out, I like to give it about like 3 issues for a mini series. At that point, I may just finish it.
Yeah.
But no, I thought it started off really strong. The art does a lot of the storytelling, and I loved seeing how kind of like language devolved also, like as the characters are talking, or at least the human ones, you get like just enough from each of their sentences to understand what they're saying or asking for. And so like, as I guess, like, post-apocalyptic stories aren't always my like go-to, but this one definitely has me intrigued, and the sci-fi element with the alien visitor kind of has me intrigued as far as like where it'll go to. And for the synopsis to mention that it's all about this kid, I'm like, this kid really wasn't in the first issue a whole lot. And I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, real quick on the language, the only other time I've seen that done very well was if you've seen Threads, which was a BBC film about, it was their day after that they had filmed in the 80s. They go from the point of the nuclear bomb like 3 generations past, and you've got to think about after the breakdown of society, you have no schools and how language will deteriorate.
Oh,
and,
right.
and it's done so well on the page in this book.
Yeah.
No cap. Anyways, Jeff.
I really enjoy the book. I really love the design of like all the characters and the aliens and whatnot. I did love the little feral kid. It kind of reminded me a little of the book All Against All, which also has like a little feral kid and an alien in it. This is obviously a little bit different, but yeah, it's super enjoyable. Do we know how long it's going to be?
4 issues. 4 issues.
4 issues? Okay. Yeah, it's great. Highly recommend.
All right, Josh. I'm pretty sure we were kind of discussing a little bit. Maybe the book didn't hit the same as what we. But tell me what's going on. What are you?
Yeah, well, I do want to give props. The art is great. The art is really, really good. I think I was kind of getting. It's like a amazing mix of like Mobius combined with Jeff Smith. Right, there's a lot of that kind of Jeff Smith like expression, in it.
What a blend!
I know, right? So the art is fantastic. It could just be I don't like post-apocalyptic stories. I just don't. They're not my jam. This one felt incredibly dark. I think even with the hopeful stuff, and I feel like, and this is not a disservice because again, every story references something else, but I was just getting a lot of like Mad Max combined with Wall-E vibes, and it never quite meshed for me. So
you forgot about the hills have eyes.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's doing it a disservice. It's one issue. It's setting stuff up. I get that, but.
It's dark. I mean, the cannibalism is very casual of the storyline.
So I didn't pull any of those pages where things get really gnarly.
Yeah,
because I didn't want to spoil anything, but the book definitely goes places that you're like, holy shit! Not just with the cannibalism. There's even on top of that stuff. There's another layer that we're like, what the fuck happened here? And then the book kind of ends.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I need to keep going.
I feel like I'm at the point with post-apocalyptic stories where I was with zombie stories like 10 years ago. Like I'm just kind of done of this as a conceit, you know? But anyway,
that's only because you can see it in the horizon already.
Exactly.
We're almost
there. It was
there.
a lot more fun when you couldn't just look ahead and it was right there.
Huh? Right. When I'm not staring it in the face. So
I love it when it's a fantasy and not a reality.
Right. I also really enjoyed the book. My only issue with it's not really on the books. It's not really the book's fault. This is more of a publishing thing. This to me feels like this was a standalone graphic novel that they cut up into 4 parts. Yeah. I don't think this was planned to be serial. Maybe it was, but I feel like this is something that this 4 issues, like that's all gonna read very nicely going into, because I did want to just turn the page after the end of the book to see like what's going on, right? So they picked a really good point to drop off, but I feel like this was definitely something that, and Image has been doing this with a lot of these books that is just one sole creator doing both story and art. Where they are broken up into like 4, 5, 6 issues, and then they put out a collection. But because I feel that's just kind of the way the business is, not so much because like, oh wait, this should be just a standalone graphic novel that we sell, and people love it like that. So, but like I said, that's no fault of the book. I love the art. I love how like I think the boundaries that it's touching on are very interesting. So. Yeah, I also highly recommend this. So thanks to Image for sending this out to us. We'll probably revisit. I would say we maybe revisit this when it's over.
Yeah.
To kind of just talk about the resolution. So, cool. Was there any last comments on this before I show you guys the really cool variant covers? All right. Well, thank you. Yeah, check out our Bones Dust. I love it. It's such a fun title once you figure out like why that's the title. So, but yeah, we have the main cover and of course a Mike Mignola cover. Because,
that is a nice Mignola cover.
Like, I really like how Mignola kind of stretched out that robot AI thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I pick up many Mike Mignola covers of books I don't intend to read. So
was I the only, like, I was zooming in really close in the PDF when he finds the MP3 player to see if I could determine what it was playing, and it was just gibberish. But I was like, what song is it? You know? So
cool.